Hey everybody, I'm back with another video and I wanted to show you a recap of some items I recently got in the mail. So I wanted to go ahead and change the view here, stand up a little bit and show you what I got here. Looking here on the left and on the right, we got a 1956 Topps Harmon Killebrew Grayback in an excellent 5. It's his second year card. He looks extremely young in this photo. It actually uses the same headshot as it does in his 55 rookie and shows him kind of missing the ground ball, but muffing the ground ball. But because Killebrew was a bonus baby, the club had to keep him on the roster, otherwise risk losing him for a couple years. And they knew he was going to be a star, so they kept him around. He didn't play a whole lot those first few years, and had some struggles, but they kept him around because they knew he was going to be a great player, and he didn't disappoint. So that's a cool card from 56 Topps. And then over here, a 64 Topps AL RBI leaders. I got it primarily because of the Killebrew and also this other guy to his right, Al Kaline. So I collect both of these gentlemen. This one is just an excellent 5. It's probably got better corners and edges than the other 56 Topps 5, but this one is it's got a little dingy. Normally the 64s have a little wider edges and corners to this one, but this one's got a little discoloration maybe, and that's what's holding it back. And then over here we have a 1964 Topps stand-up Orlando Cepeda and a VG3 and a 1965 World Series card celebrate. So for that Cepeda, anytime you can get one of these top stand-ups, I'll pick it up. And for VG3, I'm not really that concerned with that. These cards are meant to be punched out, and this one, it looks like somebody at some point had folded it partially. It hasn't been punched, but it looks like it's partially folded, and that's why the VG3, but it still has great eye appeal. Love the colors of those. The green contrast with the yellow. Just really cool, cool little pieces. I love that 64 set at the stand-up. And then the 65 Topps, the World Series card celebrate. This is Bob Gibson under that mass of humanity. All he did was pitch 3 complete games in the series as the Cardinals beat the Yankees. Man, that was Bob's. He was starting to get into his prime there. He'd have from like 64 all the way up into the late 60s. And then coming over here, a couple higher number cards from the late 60s. This 66 Hoyt Wilhelm and a near mint to mint 8. This card I've been looking to get at for a while and finally picked it up. I was able to get it a near mint to mint 8 and it looks really sharp. The centering, just a little off, but the corners, edges, very nice. And the back, boy, the back is so white. It's amazing. Let me just show that to you if I can. It's just like, wow, it's like, man, I think this came out of a pack. No discoloration or anything, which is pretty common for some of these older vintage cards. Really clean card. And this year, the 69 Fergie Jenkins from my Fergie Jenkins collection. It's just an excellent mint 6. But overall, wow, such eye appeal. It's got good centering. Corners and edges aren't bad. I'd probably give this maybe even a 7.5 if I was grading it. But overall, just a really solid card. It is in the high numbered series, so it's going to be a little bit more expensive and a higher grade, but I thought I'd get this one for a good price, and really glad to have it for the Fergie Jenkins collection. Coming on down here, some more vintage here. This 75 Topps Harmon Killebrew and a near mint 7. It's amazing to look at the difference in age between Killebrew from that other photo we saw from his 56 and here in 75. He's been in the league 20 plus years, and you can really tell the difference in the age, his face and all that. He's now an elder statesman of the game. Then 1986, Don Ross, Don Mattingly. I did love to collect me some Donnie baseball back in the day. Never did have this 86 Don Ross. Just never did, and cool to have it. Nice grade in the mint 9. I like he actually doesn't have his patented mustache in this one. It's a little different. Showing a clean shaven Don Mattingly. And this right here, this 90 Fleer Post Serial Kirby Puckett. So this kind of just takes me back to the peak of my collecting year. I think I collected more cards in 90 than any other year. And I love me some honeycomb cereal. And back in the day, if you could eat yourself a bowl of cereal, honeycomb, and pull out a Post baseball card, I mean, that was the ultimate of living the dream right there. That's the good life right there. So that takes me back to my youth. I must have ate maybe 20 boxes of honeycomb cereal that summer. I must have. I don't know. Kind of know how those kids felt back in 61, 62, and 63 when Post was putting cereal or baseball cards on the back of the cereal boxes. You just couldn't get enough of the cereal trying to get those cards. And then a couple basketball items here. This 88 Fleer Karl Malone and this 88 Fleer sticker Michael Jordan. I've got all of Malone's other stuff up until this point. And 88 Fleer is the first year I actually started collecting basketball cards. I bought my first pack at a local grocery store, just one pack of Fleer basketball. Started playing basketball that year as well, and started to appreciate the great player that is Michael Jordan, not only a basketball icon, but a cultural icon. And I needed this Fleer sticker. That's all I needed from the 88 set. I got his regular 88 and his All-Star card from that year as well. So I've been looking to get that and was able to get it at a price that I was quite comfortable with. So super excited to have that in the collection. And then on to a couple of old vintage autographs here. The first one on the right, this 59 Billy Pierce. Really great pitcher for the Chicago White Sox back in the late 50s, early 60s. And then over here, this guy on the left, you've probably heard of him as named Johnny Unitas, Hall of Fame NFL quarterback. Probably doesn't get the credit he deserves because the game has changed so much that the numbers are skewed and his numbers don't compare at all to some of the historic numbers that are put up today with just the way the offenses have evolved over time. But when my dad was a kid, his favorite football player was Johnny Unitas. He was on par with say, the Mickey Mantles of the game. And he was a football collector, not a baseball card collector. And he told me that every time he opened a pack, that's the guy he was looking for, was the Johnny Unitas. So able to get his autograph and add it to the collection, and super fortunate to have it. Well, that is it for the mail day. Once again, everybody, I appreciate your posts and comments, and I'll talk to you again soon.